All right, ready or not, we are live with the CBG Radio Podcast, brought to you by Consistency Breeds Growth. As always, I'm joined by Justin, the WOD nutritionist, and the always lovely Gab, my favorite coach. Sorry, other coaches, but I'm a little biased. And I'm Joel Jacobs, and we've got a fun. I think it's going to be a fun show today, and we've got it jam packed with stuff. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to start with a little shout out to a CBG athlete. So let me bring that up. Over the weekend, there was the Down Under. I don't know exactly what it was called. Down Under CrossFit Championship or something.
Championships, yeah.
Championship.
Yeah. So CBG athlete, our very own Jesse Smith, second place. So did you guys watch any of that, or did you just kind of follow along with the? I just followed along with on the social media stuff.
Yeah, she's a beast. I've been working with her she's one of our longest standing athletes at CBG.
Okay, cool.
For anybody wondering, like some of our athletes and stuff, we work with every single athlete that is on our team, like that you see promoting anything about CBG. Like we work with every single athlete. We coach every single athlete and help them through competitions, off season, fueling the right amounts, everything. And I've been working with Jessie since like 4 or 5 years, 4 years, I think, like a long time.
Yeah.
And she's progressed like so much tremendously. Mindset, relationship with food. She had her own struggles, relationship with food, even before we started. And she's overcome so much. Chandler, obviously, her husband, Chandler Smith, is her husband. And he's like such an amazing support system, I think, for her. And they have a good yin yang, I think, which is really cool. And she took last year to compete on a team. So for me to see her out there individually again was like awesome, because that's how we started our journey. Like she was a semifinal athlete. And, you know, look, Amy Kringle got first. She's a games athlete. I don't see why Jessie can't make it to the games this year as an individual if it's what she wants. So
That's awesome.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, and Gab, you're kind of like friends with her, right? You're close with her. Like, what has she talked about? Like, is there any plans that you can tell us about what is she going to team again? Is she going to go try to individual?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, right? I think there are a lot of factors there in terms of like what she decides to do and the path that she takes. I know Chandler is kind of stepping away from the individual stuff. He was on a team last year with her. It's a huge commitment, right? And so it really depends on like where life takes you and what you're interested in. But she is one of those people that is so completely dedicated to whatever she does that I think if she decides she wants to go individual, like she will take it there. She will make it happen. She's got an incredible partner in her corner, and she has so many people that love her and support her. I have no doubt.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, congratulations, Jesse Smith, and whatever you decide, we'll be rooting for you. So well done.
Hell
well
yeah.
done. Bravo. All right. Next thing is the Crash Crucible. So we're kind of a week behind, but we've been kind of trying to catch up on our topic. So I think now that we're kind of caught up on some things, we had to push around some stuff. But the Crash Crucible was actually not this past weekend, but the weekend before last. So 2 weekends ago. And we had, let's see. All right. Let me bring this one up. Did we have any we didn't have any CBG this year, right? There.
We had a couple of athletes out there. Anthony Yem, I believe, was out there.
Oh, okay.
And a couple of other higher level athletes, but we didn't have a big, a large amount of people there.
I gotcha. Okay.
A lot of people. So.
Yeah. So, but winners of Colton Mertens and Brittany Weiss, and kind of what we wanted to talk about with this was there's been a history of the last couple years where the Crash Crucible, like the athletes that do well at Crash Crucible maybe they haven't been to the games before, and then they win Crash Crucible or do well, and then the next like following game season, they make the games.
Yeah.
So we thought that was kind of like an interesting take. So, I mean, Chris Ibarra, he's a HWPO athlete, right?
Yeah, I think he trains with Jacob Hepner and them though too. So he's training with some killers for sure. And Jacob's got a really good mindset. I've had the pleasure of working with Jacob on some different things in the past, and
cool.
he's cool. Yeah, he's a good guy, genuinely good guy. And I know that they train together, and he's he's basically with HWPO though.
Yeah. But did he make the games this past year?
I don't know if he did. I know Colton Mertens has made the games in the past, but didn't make it this
That's right.
past year. Was on the
Yeah.
Denmark team. And yeah, you're right. Historically, like people that do well, like Crash. Crash is a great comp. J.R. Howell puts it on, and he just does a really good job. It's certainly a passion for him. Austin Hadfield made the games last year.
Yeah, so he was a winner last year.
Yeah, and he was one of the most outstanding rookies. And James Sprague came in fourth at Crash, won the games. That's insane.
Yeah. Jack Rosema made the games too as a rookie.
He made the games, yep. So yeah, definitely it's an up and coming comp. That in North Coast Classic, NCC. Shout out to NCC. They put on a really great comp, and the payouts were insane. I think first place got 25,000.
I think you're right. That sounds right.
Wow.
Yeah, if you compare that to here, I mean, I know JR is doing everything he can to continue to boost the comp and make it bigger, and hopefully their payouts keep increasing each year and stuff, which is really cool. But NCC, just like that's where they decided to put the money buckets, is inside of the earnings for the athletes. So NCC is also an up and coming comp that's pretty cool. So,
which I think is like, it's good to have these like lower level comps that can have payouts that are enough to attract, good athletes,
big names. Yeah.
And then they need to do reps ahead at some of these comps.
Yes. That would be a good partnership for sure.
Do that. That would actually be a really good idea for some of these comps, to get some of the really higher name athletes there, because then they're going to promote the comp. Right. Like there's another reps ahead coming up with James Sprague and a couple of other athletes. Trista's doing a reps ahead coming up
cool.
soon.
I just saw that post.
It's like 3 or 4 of them, like all doing it. So it's it's gonna be good. I think it's at a comp somewhere, but it's not a bigger comp like this. It's a little bit of a smaller comp. So it's interesting.
That's so cool. And reps ahead, if you're listening, and we know that you are, please, I need you to release the software so that I can have it and use it, because I can't keep watching this if I can't do it. That's so dope. So I think, Joel, on that topic, I don't want to jump ahead too far, but it feels like it's coming up kind of now anyway. Yeah. These smaller competitions are really, they're attracting a lot of attention, right? And for a multitude of reasons. You've got regular people that can compete in the intermediate and RX divisions. They're being televised more frequently, which is great. It gives us more content to watch at home. But it does kind of beg the question, like, where is CrossFit headed, right? Are we going to kind of see a turn in the way that we approach competition, where now it is more like, more frequent, smaller competitions? Or is it always going to be like the games as the culminating event? Are we going to have an open this year? Like, what are we thinking is going to happen? What changes are coming?
Yeah, I think, do you got something, Justin? I don't want to jump in on you.
I think that when we made the transition from regionals to semis, and we had all these comps kind of out there that were acting as sanctionals or semifinals, like Granite Games, and like there was the one in Canada. I forget, the Atlas Games. Like Atlas, these comps are trying to find their footing and like figure it out. And I think people wanted to see these like individual put on comps, even if they acted as semifinal events for a while. And so I think we're trying to find our footing into like, hey, how do we professionalize where, hey, semifinals, I'm not going to go to that. I'm not going to compete at that. I'm not good enough to do that. But I am willing to do something that is put on locally, maybe not directly by CrossFit. And I think Wadapalooza started that movement, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Miami, now the California. Now you have some of these. There's a lot. I mean, I think Atlas Games is still going on. I'm not sure about Granite Games. You have Crash Crucible, which is growing. You have TFX, the fittest experience in Texas. Yep. NCC, we just talked about. You have even bigger comps like Rogue, right, which is coming up very, very soon. And Dubai Fitness Championships. I mean, those have stayed around, but I'm thinking there's some that got shut down after they weren't a sanctioned event by CrossFit anymore. and there are some people coming in like filling
couldn't
the
survive.
gaps. And for those athletes that like are really good, they want to make some money, but they're not quite there yet to be able to make and go to the games, or bust through semifinals. They're
Mhm.
competing at these events, and games athletes are gonna start showing up to these events if there are big enough payouts too. So
Yeah.
I think so too.
Do
And
you think that then the games will in 2025 move forward as any other year?
yeah, I don't think anything's gonna happen to the games.
I
I
think
think
so
it's gonna
too.
stay as it is. Um,
The rumors,
Yeah.
the rumors that I've heard other people, I don't know if they're rumors, but the things that I've seen other people in the space talk about is um the Open being a qualifying event again to the games, like a certain, maybe the top 5 or whatever from the Open will get automatic invites to the games. And then there'll be basically there's not going to be, supposedly there may not be any other like semifinals, like in-person semifinal uh matchups or events.
yeah,
It just costs too much money. I think it's just I think, being owned by private equity and stuff, they're trying to make a profit.
yeah,
So it would all be online, is what you're implying?
All the qualifying things supposedly is
Yeah.
that's what the speculation that I've
Yeah.
heard people say is
Well,
it's
my
all
question is like how do they get insured to put on the games? Like I'm not suggesting that I don't want the games to happen by any means. I just feel like from a logistical standpoint, there is a lot that goes into getting insurance to host an event like that. And after a negative experience, I don't know that you can really afford to make that happen again, right? From an insurance standpoint.
um I mean, well, we just saw that there was that triathlon event where 2 swimmers apparently drowned.
drowned. Yeah,
And they still have those events and still get
yeah,
insurance through those. So that there might just be stipulations that the insurance company puts in place and says, "Hey,
Or
you have to do this, this, and that
yeah,
for us to be able to insure you." So, but I don't know that from a cost standpoint. I don't know. I don't know if that changes.
yeah. I mean, like, I think there are certainly more um, higher risk sports like UFC, boxing, stuff like that, right?
yeah.
Um, and for that to happen was a complete tragedy, right? But I don't know if that completely just eliminates the games completely.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they'll
Yeah.
figure
Yeah.
out a way to
Very
put it
fair
on.
points.
But
Yeah.
Joel, I don't. To your point, yeah, I don't know if they're gonna. They want the quarterfinals payouts. I mean, they get a lot of they. I don't know what they made last year from that, but they need to make that. If they were smart, make it competitive and make it RXable for more people, so that more people will join it. Get a whole separate leaderboard for that, and people that want to take it seriously. And then they should do a semifinal. I think that the way I think about CBG, right, is on a much smaller scale than CrossFit, is CBG pays athletes. Athletes work with us and we help with their nutrition and they promote CBG and the benefits that they're getting from working with us and all these things, right? And then people decide, hey, like that's inspiring to me. I want to improve in that way, or I want to look more like I do 4 to 5 watts per week, whatever. And they sign up with us, right? I don't know if they're able to track just on that larger scale the ROAS from, hey, putting all this money into the sports side. How many people are inspired opening up affiliates because of that? How
Mhm.
many people are inspired to walk into their CrossFit box for the first time because of that? Right. And if they eliminate that completely, I don't know what happens to their rev then if they just decide to completely eliminate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we wouldn't make as much as a business if I was like told all the athletes like, hey guys, all contracts are terminated.
Mm.
We wouldn't make as much because
Yeah.
they quit promoting us, right? They would quit working with us. We're not able to help them because a lot of our athletes come to us first saying, hey, I need help with nutrition. And we're like, great, let's put an agreement in place that makes sense for both you and CBG. And we work with them, right? So it's obviously it's transactional, but it's on the coaching side first and then the financial side second for both parties. And then we go from there, right? So if they're like, hey, we're just eliminating a whole all the semifinals, that's going to affect their rev in some way. I don't know how. I don't know about how much,
Totally.
right? But it's going to. And so I don't know if they're it seems like to me, if you really think about it, that is their biggest marketing push of stuff.
What
I
if
don't
they
see
do-
him like pushing, like when I look online, I'm not like, oh, this person is, everything's coming up. They're getting thousands of likes and reels and views and going viral. And they have a YouTube channel that like has people on, like there are other people like that do podcasts like us that talk about the sport and talk about different things. Right. So from a marketing perspective, it's like those people, like the Hillers and all of those people, plus them running the games, that gets more
Yeah.
people interested in CrossFit. Where else do people come from? The affiliates have referral extensions out. There's only like 4 ways to get customers, right? Like that's one way, because this one refers this one. Oh, I go to the CrossFit gym. Oh, you want to come to the CrossFit gym? That's great, right? And those affiliates that they already have are their referral system. But how are other affiliates? Like I would presume they make the most money from more affiliates opening up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How do they get more? How are they marketing to the affiliate side? I think that's from the athlete side. I think affiliates.
100%.
Let's do this. Daniel Brennan's fucking awesome. Like, I want to open an affiliate and help people and inspire people and crush it and help people, hit PRs and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Could the argument be, so I think they'll still, if the speculation is true about the semifinals, I think it'll just be an online semifinal. Like they'll still have the semifinals.
Yeah,
But
but
it'll be
that's definitely not the same. Like that's
No.
where you get your super fans from. Like the people that go to the games, dude. I see people at the games. I'm like, oh my god. Like, you know how you love the Mets? Yeah. Sorry, by the way.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate that.
Like they have fans. Those are the people that go to the games.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
super fans. Like they'll do anything, bro, to get people into CrossFit and wanting. Like you're gonna lose that at the semifinal level, especially
Yeah.
for people locally that can't travel to the games every year.
Yeah.
So could you make the argument though that whatever so if there's let's say the games put them in the red in terms of like what the games cost to put on and what they bring in from the open and quarterfinals and all that stuff.
Yeah.
If that puts them in the red, even by a little, or even if they just break even. You're saying that it's almost like a marketing tool though for them.
100%. Yeah, it's definitely a marketing tool. So like with that's how it works with our athletes. Like we're working with our athletes and they're promoting us, and they're marketing tools for us. Like they post about CBG, what they do with CBG, the benefits, and then people come. Their marketing is, hey, we don't even need to pay the athletes. They got to win to get paid. We don't even got to pay the judges. That's all free. If I didn't have to pay my athletes or my judges, my coaches, let's say I didn't pay you, Gab, at all for any incline, that'd be dope. That'd be awesome. You got all these people bought in this much. They love the sport. They're competing for free. If you go out there to the games and you get 30th, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
CrossFit doesn't pay you anything.
As a matter of fact, you've spent an astronomical amount of money.
I thought you still get
Who does that? Who in baseball would do that? Any player? None.
No.
None would do that. And then you have the volunteers and judges too, that they get like, I don't know. I think they get gear and they get some other things, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they get paid very much if they do get paid. I think it is a lot of volunteer based work.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, you got all these people doing this stuff for free. That's your marketing, and you're gonna drop it. I don't know, man. That doesn't seem right to me.
Could you make the argument that I was just checking these payouts here to see how far, because I think they go, maybe not everybody gets paid.
No, everybody does not get paid.
Okay. They stop at a certain.
They stop. Yeah. At the games, I think it's the first 10. And at semifinals, I think it's just the podium winners, to be honest.
Oh, wait. No, this says 9th through 20th. And he has them listed out here.
This is the games?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean,
last place gets $2,250. So that doesn't even cover their costs. Probably.
The only people really making any money from this or the top 20 really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Could you make the argument though that if they stop doing the games in the way that they do them now and refocused all of those resources and just refocused their marketing for the affiliates and putting out more Instagram media of that's all like health focused, right? Like and just really pushing into that industry that could make up for what the games was providing.
No,
You
I
don't
don't
think
think so.
so? Is there something about wanting to be like
I don't think so, but
that?
that's
Like,
why business is so hard, right?
yeah.
Because I could decide tomorrow, like, hey, you know what? I don't think we need to work with these athletes anymore. I think we need to focus more on just like posting our testimonials and spending our budget somewhere different because people are not resonating with these athletes. And some people don't. Some people see Danielle Brennan like, she's awesome and all, but that's not my goals. So I don't know if CBG
Yeah.
is for me. So we have to continue to educate, like with different things that we do here on the podcast and our newsletter on Instagram that, hey, we work with mostly recreational people that do 4 to 5 watts per week, right? So that they know that. And so, yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible, Joel, like that could happen, but that's what makes business so hard, right? Is like, well, where am I going to get the most return for where I'm spending and what I'm doing? And then how do I capture that? And then when does it reach a ceiling? Like when does it, like, let's say right now they're like, wow, the games is bringing so much money to CrossFit. Amazing. Awesome. Let's 10X it. Let's 10X it. Right. That's what I'm thinking. If somebody's working, I'm like, man, our athletes are working great. Let's 10X the budget on athletes. Right.
Yeah.
At what point does it start? Because it's as you spend more in a certain category, the ROI lowers.
Yeah.
So like if you spend 10,000 on athletes and you get paid out 30, you start paying like double that, 20, you're going to go to 40, right? But that ROAS is lower. It's like a 1.5, it's like a 2 ROAS versus a 3. So at what point does it start to be like, wow, well, we're spending all of this money and it's not giving us the return that we're hoping for? And so I do think they need to, regardless, invest more into like the everyday and all that stuff. Because when I look at their Instagram, I'm like, man, my Instagram's running better than this. Like
Yeah.
my team and what I'm doing like is running better than this. You know, like we went from 16,000 followers at the beginning of 23. We have 100,000 today. Today we got 100,000.
Wow, really?
Nice.
Congratulations.
100,000 today. So like
That's great.
I'm not saying that I'm just saying like I put a lot of
Yeah,
effort and
man.
focus into it, right? And like all things are just like jiving in a direction to be able to facilitate that. So yeah,
Yeah.
CrossFit's got to figure that out. But I think eliminating it completely would be a huge mistake for sure. Not even for the athlete's sake, to be honest. Like forget about that. Just like for them.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, right? Because you've got CrossFit, and obviously we could talk about their marketing and how they eliminated the media team, and that's a whole separate conversation. But you think about traditional CrossFit, and you think about like how people come to the sport, how they find their affiliate, how they get involved, how they're interested. And I think the thing that separates CrossFit from so many of these other like fitness companies or fitness categories is that CrossFit is very unapologetically challenging. And I think a lot of these other things are like, oh, anybody can do it. Like it's really easy. You're going to love it. It's, whatever. And it's very like welcoming. And obviously CrossFit has changed in recent years, right? And I think they're trying to make it a little bit more, beginner friendly.
Yeah.
And certainly it is, right? It always has been. But the idea of these athletes being jacked and like unbelievable, like superhuman is, I think, what gets people in the door, because you're not attracting someone who's like, oh, I just want to like, be a little bit more free. It's like, no, you're getting people that are like, I want to look like Danielle Brandon. I want to be a savage. I want to be incredible. And I think you lose that if you really start focusing too much on like, it's cool to see the 98-year-old lady do a deadlift. Like that's awesome. And it's great that we do that for people, but I don't think that's what's going to get the next generation in the door, right? It's got to be a little bit more impactful than that on somebody who's really looking to improve. Like, briefly, like Justin, how did you originally find or get into CrossFit?
My buddy was just my buddy Taylor. He was a regional athlete.
Dope.
That's it. I don't need to say
And
anything
you were
else.
like, I want to be like him.
And I want to be like him. And he's
Yeah.
somebody I look up to. He's inspiring. He's a couple years ahead of me in life, so I'm always looking to see what he's doing, and he's giving me always helping improve my mindset and he was doing CrossFit years ago, and he's like, you should do a workout. I did a workout with him in his garage. It was really hard. I was like, this is really challenging, and there's more to grow and learn from doing this, and that was it.
That's dope. What about you, Joel? How did you first get into CrossFit?
My brother-in-law, he worked with a couple people that were opening up a gym, and they had been talking to him for a while, and he was going to try a beginner class, or the on-ramp class or whatever. And he was like, hey, would you want to go try it with me? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. And then so I didn't really find out about the games until after that. And then they were like talking about it at the gym and this and that. And then I think it was 2014. So it was that my first games that I watched was Rich Froning's fourth title.
Yeah. That's the referral system out of an affiliate.
Yeah.
Like, referral. That's like the number one way that they're going to get people. But it also contingent upon getting more affiliates to join in.
Sure.
I mean,
I watched the docs.
All the documentaries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I was like, I had never done CrossFit. I was always like a strength and conditioning girl. And my boyfriend was like, oh, we should watch this. It looks really cool. We're always like, watching YouTube videos about training and whatever. And we put it on, and I was like, I couldn't believe what these people were doing. And I was like, they didn't know they had to do this. They just showed up and did it. And I was like, everything that I had ever thought was possible with the human body, I could not believe that you could do more and be better. And I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, done. And I have dumped a lot of money into it since then. But I think most people want to be at that level. It is nobody comes to CrossFit and they're like, I don't really want to clean and jerk that heavy. Like, I'm okay with just doing like 95 forever. People like really want to do better. And I think their media team being dismantled may have been kind of the catalyst for, what someone might call the downfall of CrossFit, right? Because that was, we've got this 23 documentary and it's just sitting around, right? We don't even have it yet.
Yeah.
Nothing. Well, and that's was hired out as a third party or whatever. I would feel like there should be there was probably a contract, right? I would be like if I'm CrossFit, I'm like, what is the deal here, people? We are already over a year out of this. Like, what is going on?
Yeah. Nobody cares anymore.
It's because they probably paid a pretty penny for somebody to do that.
For sure.
If you got something else, Cam?
No. I just
like we were going to talk. Okay. But all right, so I will say that if for the athlete's sake and for the athlete's sake and for these smaller events, stuff like this is what, if the games go away, stuff like this is what's going to help keep the sport propelled.
I live for the drama.
Yeah,
this was cool.
Yeah.
Someone has to explain Taylor Self to me. I need someone to like really walk me through this guy.
Stared out. Yeah,
what's up with him?
That's amazing.
First of all, he clearly goes out of his way to physically try to look like the villain from a Bond movie. Like he has cultivated this aesthetic on purpose.
Yeah. But I think stuff like this is great for these smaller competitions.
100%.
You get some smack talk, you get, some back and forth on social media, you build up some interest, and then, and you get little rivalries and stuff going.
It's so good.
I love the stare down. But it's stuff like that I think is going to be, that's just like, it's going to be awesome, right? For those smaller competitions. So
you gotta love it.
You need that. It's that's what sport thrives on, right? Like we love smack talk. and creating that rivalry and the other team and the I rock my jersey and you rock your jersey, like that's the fun.
Right.
And this is a sport that I think goes even deeper because we can participate, right? So we are doing the open and it's like we're on our own little journey and whatever. Whereas like I haven't played baseball since I was a kid, right? I just watch it. It's fun to watch, but we're active participants in this sport. So having that smack talk and creating that drama and even on an affiliate level, like having that person that you're always trying to match up with, it's dope, and that's what makes this dope. But I think people like Taylor Self, God bless him, right? Whatever. I don't know. I hope he's having a great day today. But he's the drama. He's the fun. We need more of that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ricky Garrard, Jeff Adler thing, I had my bucket of popcorn out. I was like, let's go. I want to see where this goes. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, in the that year, what was it last year too, with Adler and Roman, right? Where Adler was like chirping at him while they were running, and
and he got his feelings hurt.
Yeah. So I think stuff like that is amazing for the sport.
Speaking of drama,
yeah, I've got it here. Let me.
Okay, because I've been waiting to talk about this.
All right. Our very own CBG athlete Danielle Brandon. Shots fired at somebody.
Yeah. Probably a lot of people, honestly. Probably a lot of people.
Okay. So not just a single person, but anybody that is claiming to be a CrossFit Games athlete that competes on team. She apparently has beef with that.
Yeah. Danielle's been on fire this week. So like just on social media and stuff. I obviously I'm her coach, but also like I would consider us to be like friends, and I know her personality very well. And certainly this is not something that's has malicious intent behind it, but certainly she wants, and other people should know that like being a team athlete is a lot different from being an individual. Now, some of those people could have qualified as an individual before and are also now going team. Makes perfect sense. But yeah, if you're a team athlete, I think it's the mindset between a team athlete and individual athlete are so different.
Yeah.
It's so different. Like everything is on your shoulders and you do have a team behind you, but that team is not with you on the competition floor.
Yeah.
It's you by yourself. So like her team, like her coach L and me and Cooper and her friends and her whole support system, right? That's her team. But only one person has to step out on a competition floor. And posting this 3 times CrossFit Games athlete when you're actually on a team, I think that's what she has offense with into.
Yeah. I also think it's really reasonable. Like I get annoyed when people that I know are not qualified to give nutrition advice go on the internet and start talking about how carbs are bad. Like that will ruin my day. That will piss me off. And sometimes you're like, I feel, Danielle, I have a very similar switch, right? And it's like, no, I like you're an idiot. And sometimes you take it to the internet, right? That's kind of what we do. So I get that. And that would piss me off too. I think people, I just feel like the internet is such an interesting place to be like, look at how incredible I am. And we all like conflate our accomplishments and whatever. And it's like, sometimes you got to get pulled back to reality a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm with her on it, but
do you think that, that it's on purpose for whoever she's pointing out or the athletes that she's pointing out that does this? Do you think it's on purpose for them? Like, are they purposely trying to present themselves as something they're not? Or is it just kind of like a fleeting, like, oh, I'm a CrossFit Games athlete. Oh yeah, I did compete on team, or do you think like is that what her beef is like they're trying to present something that is not true?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I do think that some people are, right? Some people are like CrossFit Games athlete and like they want to present and showcase that they are something that they aren't, because we know a team athlete is very different from an individual athlete. I think other people just like, there's less characters in their bio. They are technically a CrossFit Games athlete, but they're on a team with someone else. And so I think it depends on the athlete. Keep in mind, these people posting this are savages too. They made it to the games as a team on a team.
Oh,
Like
no
that's
question.
still an amazing accomplishment,
Yeah,
right?
for
Like in and of itself. Right. So I mean, it's probably a mixture of each. But yeah, I think we all do this. And like Gab said, like we need to get pulled back to reality every now and then. No, like, yeah, you're not it's not what it all looks like it is online and on social media ever,
Yeah.
with pictures and videos and Photoshop and AI now. And so, yeah, I think that's what she means.
And you know what? I think that, again, Danielle is really good at this kind of stuff. Like, look at us talking about this now. This was like a week ago, right?
Yeah.
She's so good at producing content that people want to talk about. She's so good at staying relevant, and she's really good about like being genuinely who she is all the time. She is not interested in whether or not we think she is polite. She is not interested in being America's sweetheart, and I respect the shit out of that. I really, really do. And you know, again, the sport needs a little bit more smack talking. Like this is fun. And I fully support it. A+.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it makes it fun, and it gives us something to talk about. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're like kind of getting into the media space now, like, hey, it's great for us. Like, yeah, we love trauma. I love the tea. You know, I love the tea, Gab.
It's
So,
great. I know.
all right.
It's
So speaking of tea, I feel like since I'm a man of the people, I have to ask this. Any insight on who she's talking about here?
I don't know. I don't know who's tagged down there. What's down there?
It just
It says there's a difference.
That's what
There's a difference. Okay. I don't know if she
he
tagged
didn't
somebody.
tag anybody in it.
Uh,
So it would be
I have
total
suspicion.
speculation
3
as
times.
to who she's talking about.
We can go scour the internet. I honestly don't know, because I think there are probably tens, if not hundreds, of people that have this in their bio, that they're multiple time team. Trying to think of anybody that this could be in particular.
What you got, Gab? Gab's got the look on her face like, I got some tea.
So many
I'm
people.
ready.
So my group chat went off. my group chat went off. We love the CrossFit drama. We love all this stuff. I think I've mentioned to you that I have a relationship with Andrew Hiller. I live for this. And so I don't know. I can't confirm 100%, but I did find an athlete that was competing on that weekend who did have that in their bio, who was in fact a 3-time team athlete. And that person, all right, pull up, go to Instagram, Joel, pull up Brittany Weiss.
All right.
See if she took it down or changed it. Because I'll tell you, at the time, that is indeed what her bio said. Now listen, she's way more fit than the three of us combined. So good for her, right?
Yeah, I mean, she just
crash, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says 3-time games athlete.
Yeah.
So it could be.
Who knows?
Could
Who
be.
knows?
Could be.
Shots fired, Brittany. Apologize if it's not you.
She's still a savage athlete, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And and to be honest, we can speculate on who it was, but I don't know if Danielle would even want it to be one person.
Yeah.
I think she just found that and was like,
the overall idea of this.
The idea of it.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's right about that for sure.
Well, and stuff like that makes it fun too. So like we could speculate on if it was Brittany Weiss, and then if she does go, individual, and then makes it. I mean, just like the storyline there too. If they're in the same place now, and is there going to be some awkward tension, and what's that look like on the floor? And I love all that stuff. So
yeah.
Thank you, athletes, for bringing us the drama.
I would also love to know if we could chart the correlation over time between Danielle calling somebody out and them doing really well. Because also at SoCal, there was I don't even know this person. You know what I mean? Like, I would be interested to see if she goes on to the game. Like, maybe Danielle calling people out is like the secret sauce for going in and crushing it. So who knows, right?
And it keeps her motivated, that's for sure.
Yeah. I love that.
Honestly, I don't remember what that other athlete's name was. She was Australia. Was she from Australia?
She's from Serbia, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
And
she came out hot. Like, she seemed like maybe she was fired up.
Yeah, I don't want to misspeak on that, but yeah, that definitely got him fired up for sure.
Yeah. And I honestly, at the end of the day, like I think for regular people, it's so easy to be like, oh my God, that's so mean. Like that's so hard. But like this is sport and these people handle things that are way more challenging than like other people talking shit. So I really think at the end of the day, like it feels more dramatic for people like us than it actually really is. Like I can't imagine that there are professional athletes that are crying over what other athletes say in the heat of the moment. Like it's silly, right? It at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. They're both incredible athletes. They're both way more successful than the average person, and will continue to be. So good for them.
Yeah, 100%. All right, we got to get moving.
Let's do it.
So the next thing is our Rogue Invitational is coming up, and we've got several CBG athletes that are heading over there. So we've got James Sprague, Chandler Smith, Sam Quant, and Danielle Brandon that are on their way over to Scotland. So what I wanted to talk about with them, what I thought would be interesting is conversations, Justin, that you've had about international travel and what that means for their nutrition. And then Gab she's got some clients that are heading over there to spectate, right?
Yeah.
And so she has like a whole bunch of research that she did on how she advised those clients in their travel. So who wants to go first?
How much time do we have left?
How much time do you
Because
have?
I feel like we want to rank people too, right? We want to do some other stuff. Like, let me see. Gab, you can definitely go, and then I'll figure out how much time I have, and then we can figure out what we want to do.
So very briefly, when you are traveling internationally, bringing things with you is challenging, right? You can bring powders. It is recommended that you keep it in their original container. So don't bring your creatine and dump it into a Tupperware. They will likely not enjoy that. But keep it, especially if you can do like an unopened package of protein powder, an unopened package of creatine. That's the way to go. We can't, unfortunately, bring prepackaged meals because there are rules about traveling with meat and dairy, obviously, internationally. You might be able to get away with vegan or vegetarian meals, but my thought is why bother, right? Like, why are you going to bring a couple of vegetables to a different country? I'm sure they have them there. So don't worry about that. Protein bars. They say, again, the whey protein, it's dairy. I don't think I would be willing to take my chances on an international flight that checking protein bars would be okay, even though they're technically made with dairy. I guess do it at your own risk, but I would say as long as, again, it's in a original container that is sealed, you'll be fine. And then, of course, claim everything at customs. Do not forget about the powders that you have. Do not forget about the bars. Make sure you let them know ahead of time. Check the bag. You should be good to go. And then this second page, Joel, has some really cool information. So I was having a conversation with a few of my clients who were traveling, and we were talking about how Scotland has become kind of the land of the strong man, right? And, that brought us to talking about, are there nutrition stores, right? Are there sports nutrition places you can shop? And they're all over the place. So, there are sort of Scottish stores, right, that I've never heard of, but they've got GNC, which is huge here. So we know all about that. Their supermarkets have a really nice variety of some things that you can grab, the protein powders, the protein bars, etc. There are fitness stores. So here we have like Dick's Sporting Goods and whatever. They've got stuff like that over there where you can definitely grab stuff. And then there are a lot of like little local places as well. So kind of mom and pop places, especially in the bigger cities. So all of this to say, you may not be able to bring a whole lot with you. If you're going to try to keep it in the original package, try to bring things that have never been opened before, claim it on your customs form, but don't stress, because once you get there, there's going to be a whole lot of stuff that you can buy, and plenty of stores to go to. So no stress. You are going to be able to continue to follow your blueprint and make gains while in Scotland.
Nice.
Mic drop.
Love that. This is good for the athletes too, to be honest. I'm going to send this to all of our athletes.
I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, send it to me. I can send it. For the athletes in general, that was really good, by the way, Gab.
Thank you.
Like I said, I'm going to send that to everybody. In terms of what we're doing to get ready, obviously we still have a couple of weeks, but as people travel, and a lot of the athletes travel there earlier to get used to the time change, which is good. So that's my first tip. I know that's not nutrition related, but it's still pretty important. We're also carb loading at the same time. So it's also very interesting to keep in mind that, hey, we have to make a change to our blueprints, eating more carbohydrates. Usually for men, it's 80 to 100 more. For our female athletes, it's 60 to 80 more per day. at any time, doesn't matter. And usually it's depending on the comp. If it's like a 2-day comp, it's maybe 2 to 3 days before. If it's like a longer weekend comp like Rogue, it's 4 to 5 days before, which is when they're traveling there, right? For a lot of them anyway. So carb loading ahead of time, pretty important. Getting to the grocery store as soon as possible when you land, so that you have reliable foods that you're used to eating. We don't want to like eat crazy different types of foods than we've eaten in the past, which can be difficult in a different country, right? So getting there, getting your bases set. A lot of the same foods are likely going to be available, which is good. It's not a country where things are that different, but getting to the store early is going to be extremely important. Obviously, the most important macro for comp is carbs. It switches. Usually it's protein. Those doing 4 to 5 watts per week, it switches to carbs. So making sure you have readily available carb sources, pre-workout carbs, intra and post, liquids, candies, white bread jelly, Uncrustables, Pop-Tarts, Gatorades, like those sort of things, just for quick available energy. And then making sure that you're trying to keep as similar your life back home as you can in Scotland, eating a lot of the same meals. Timings are definitely going to be off with the time change, but like trying to eat the same breakfast that you usually eat when you're home, like some of those things, and just keeping fat and vegetables away from the workout window, right?
Yep.
So those are like some quicker like tips and things that we obviously utilize. There's certainly a lot more. And since we might not be able to get to it, if you guys DM us on Instagram competition, I'll send you Daniel Brannon's and everybody else's competition nutrition guide that we use, and you guys can take it away. It's like a 4 or 5 page training. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, let's get to.
All right.
Now I have until, let me see. I think I'm good to go for a bit. Yeah, I'm good to go. So we got another like 45 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
Same.
Sweet. All right.
Cool.
No rush there. All right. How do we want to decide? You just want me to pluck random ones and you tell me where they go?
Yeah. So first off, what is this? Let's explain to everybody what the
Good idea, because I had no idea. I was totally confused by all this, because I was like trying to change the categories over here, and Gab was like, "No, I think it's supposed to be S tier, like it's supposed to be that." And I'm like,
S
"What?"
is like
Makes no sense to me.
like godlike tier. So that's
Okay.
like you're a freaking you're a beast. Like you're godlike.
Yeah. Well, my 9-year-old son knew about this, and I was like, "Yeah, we're going to be doing this. What do you know about this?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, and then he was like telling me about it, and I'm like, "All right, I had to get educated by my 9-year-old son to know what was going on."
It's amazing.
So yeah, so the S tier then is like super, right? It's like super above everyone, like you said, godlike. And then basically like that though, it's like a grade almost, right? Like someone A+ grade, someone's B grade, someone's C grade, B grade kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's the premise. So I kind of feel like I just want to go randomly. Like I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to like start at the top and move our way down, or
what do you think? What do you think, Gab?
Oh boy. I think we
maybe I could. Okay, I got an idea. I'll go by how Rogue announced them. How about that?
There we go. I like that.
That'll give us because I don't think they announced them like in any certain order. All right, we'll start at the most recent. All right. So first we got Danny Spiegel.
Okay.
Danny Spiegel. All right. So Rogue is historically a event that has some more strength in it than other events.
Yep.
Yeah.
And odd object stuff. I don't know where Danny placed last year.
Yeah, I've got it right here. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
She was 9th.
That's
actually a little bit lower than I was thinking.
Yeah. So my system, obviously S is godlike. Who can like win or podium?
Right.
A is going to be like, maybe you'll make the podium. The right events have to show up for you, but probably not. B is, you're in shape still from whatever, and you're going to do well, but you're not going to be able to make a splash. Maybe an event win or two, something like that. C is you're not in shape. You just kind of showed up to see what you can do. And D is you shouldn't have been going to Rogue, probably.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Like you probably should have just been like, maybe I should have sat this one out,
Yep.
either because I know the events are not going to favor you, or whatever. Right. For Danny, I'm actually going to go in the B category.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
'Cause I think she's definitely good for probably at least one event win.
I think she's going to get an event win probably in something. Obviously, we had the log and we had deadlifts in the previous years and stuff like that. And so that's something that, I would say overall is favored for her, but there's still going to be a good bit of fitness there. And so, that's something she has to get her aerobic base up. Like it's been a challenge for years for her, and she's gotten better, of course, but I don't know how seriously she's taken road overall. I'm not friends or know Danny, but love her as a competitor. I'm going to put her in the B category.
Well, and as the gifter of the superlatives for Rogue 2024, we can call Danny our most valuable Instagram influencer. So if there is something to Instagram about at Rogue, if there is something to share with an affiliate link or two, we will definitely be seeing it from Danny Spiegel. So congratulations, Danny, on being the MVII.
There you go.
I think she probably makes close to if not, she's in the top 3, making the most amount of money from.
100%.
No question.
It's pretty phenomenal. Good for her.
All right. So next we have, wait, is it Saxon or Spencer? Uh-oh. Better get it right. Saxon Pancheck.
Saxon. Okay.
Saxon Pancheck.
I think he filled in, right?
Yeah, he was a fill-in.
He was a fill-in at the end.
Yeah.
Dude, Saxon's so fit. He I worked with him years ago, and he's just kind of plateaued, I think, in some of his he switched camps a lot of times and stuff, but I think he has all the like physical attributes to win the games if he wanted. I think if he wanted to, at least podium at the games. I don't know about win, but he could podium at the games. He's had top 5 finishes at the games before. The last year we worked together, he had a top 5 finish. I'm actually going to put him.
He was 11th last year at the games, and this looks like it's first time maybe at Rogue. Unless there's a year I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I'm also going to put him in the B category. He doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. He's very consistent with how he performs. We know a lot of athletes that are like that, so I'm also going to put Saxon in the B category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had an event win at the games, so he could pull him. He could pull him.
He doesn't event win a lot. He's like Medeiros, but he does consistently well, and like he's done always fairly well at the games for the most part. Like 11th this past year is good. That's a good finish at the games.
Yeah.
He wants more than that. I know him, but he's always done well. So
yeah. I don't have a superlative for Saxon, but I do want to say that I lovingly refer to him as saxophone pancakes. So saxophone, great job.
I hope he sees this. So he can,
yeah, exactly. He'd be like, thanks, I guess. All right. Oh man. Okay. This was a little bit earlier than I thought, but I think it's pretty obvious. The next one up is Tia Toomey Orr.
All right. It's the S tier. It's the S tier. I mean, she almost won it last year when she like literally came back months after having a baby.
Yeah. I don't even think we have to spend much time on her. Like,
that's just, she is one of the greatest CrossFit Games athletes of all time. Maybe the greatest. You can make an argument
for sure.
You can make an argument for Rich.
Yeah.
I don't think you can make an argument for Matt just because Matt quit competing a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm at. She's possibly the GOAT. So
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of incredible things to say about Tia, of course, but I have awarded her a superlative that I'm interested to hear your reaction. You could Tia's been granted so many superlatives through the years, right? She's the most winningest CrossFit athlete of all time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But I think if we're being honest with ourselves, guys, Tia is most likely to not rock her sponsor's apparel. We saw it in SoCal. She was running in some shoes that were not Go Rucks. How quickly we moved from Noble to Go Ruck, and how quickly we did not wear Go Ruck. So listen, Tia could kick my ass a million times. We know that, and that's fine. But what's up with the shoes, girlfriend? What you doing?
Yeah. It's crazy because these athletes have this is how they make their money. And so you have to be careful with who you endorse, where your brand loyalty is, but also like being able to provide and support your family, Yeah. And so that's hilarious that I'm sure that if Andrew Hiller got a hold of, he could look at shoes all day and belts and do all that. He would have a whole video on it.
He's been there hilarious times, I think.
Yeah. I actually got to meet Tia at Wadapalooza in California, and her daughter, and they're good. Like she was like literally doing the events and also like being a mom. It was pretty awesome. Yeah.
That is cool. All right. Another one that's probably going to be near the top. Jeffrey Adler.
Dude, I don't know, man. Adler was he won the games. Last year we know what happened at the games, but he was on his way to do exactly what he did the year before in an aerobic event, which is not even like he doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses overall. And I've seen him compete. Him and his wife just dialed in, like at Wadapalooza, even as a team event, just like dialed in together. Because she's his coach. I got to put him in the S tier. I feel like he can go.
Wow.
Yeah, I gotta put him in the S tier. I mean, he's a dog. I mean, he just doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. He's strong as hell. He was putting up numbers close to Guy in the strength event there. His aerobic fitness is phenomenal. And as an individual competitor on a team, like he still has all the abilities to win the games, I think. And Rogue.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And of course, can't talk about Jeff without talking about how he is far and away the best smack talker. So congrats to Jeff, best smack talker. We love it. Keep it coming, please.
Even if it's in French, yeah.
Maybe the French makes it better.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right. Here's another one that might be, I don't know. We'll see. Laura Horvath is next.
Horvath. I mean, she won last year. I'm not the one to bet against her. Obviously she didn't finish out the games this year, so we don't know where or what improvement she's made since then. But I think competing back out there, knowing she beat Tia last year, she comes out with vengeance and she tries to get it done again. So I'm going to put her in the S tier with Tia. I'm not going to be the one to bet against her and be wrong. So
yeah. And as
podium for sure. Yeah.
No question. As boring as this might be, I was unable to award her anything other than most likely to succeed, because I think she's got that dog. I think she wants it. I think she knows Tia is her number one competitor, and that mentality is going to take you way further, right? So she is unapologetically going for that top spot, and so I think she's most likely to succeed.
Yeah.
Well, and she probably hasn't lost the chip on her shoulder either. Like she had the chip last year.
Yep.
And it's like, I think having not competed at the games this year, and like the chip's still there, I think probably.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yep.
All right. Mr. This guy's been around for a while and he's been at the top for a long time. Patrick Vellner.
Top 5 at the games this year, right? I mean, did really well.
Yep.
Always starts slow.
He won the Rogue last year.
Yeah. He seemed pretty fit at at Wadapalooza, which is good. I don't know, man. He always comes out and does it every year. I'm gonna put him in the A tier. I don't know if he can podium. I think there's some other guys that could take it instead. And I have a couple of people that I truly think could do that are on this list.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put him in the A tier. He's gonna do well. He'll probably have a top 5 finish. Maybe he squeaks into a second or third. I just don't know if he can win it this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And as usual, Justin, we're on the same page. I've awarded him most likely to lose event 1.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
He's gonna lose event 1.
It is what it is.
All right.
All right. This one, I've always been a fan of this next one. I think she's always been fun to watch. Gabby Magawa. I think
Gabby.
that's her name.
Podiumed at the games this year. Phenomenal athlete. Yeah, has improved tremendously over the years.
She got 4th last year at Rogue.
Yeah, and
she
podiumed at the games
last year at the Rogue.
I'm gonna have to put her in the S tier. I mean, I think right after Tia, she's right there with Laura, obviously. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say. She doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. She's a really good athlete. So, that's it. S tier for Gab.
Yeah. When you surround yourself with the best, you have no choice but to become one of the best. And that's just a classic example for Gabby. I mean, she's training with Laura. She is really exposed to people that are at the very top, and so I think her abilities are limitless. I have awarded her, and I think it's really fitting because of course we respect her as an athlete. She's incredible, but we do kind of know her as Laura's best friend, and I hope for her that she will be able to kind of break out of that and be known for how incredible she is. But I have awarded her best friends with Laura. So congratulations, best friends. And I do want to say, I think it is really rare that 2 women, particularly, who are technically competitors, can be so supportive of one another and so in one another's corner. And that doesn't happen all the time. So I do think, as much as it's cheeky, like ha ha ha, it is really incredible. And so I really love the 2 of them, and I love watching them support one another in competition.
Are they still training together? Do you know?
I was gonna say this could be awkward.
Are they not?
Yeah.
You know how I love the tea, and I've been seeing things that they're not friends anymore. Gab,
shut up! No one was gonna tell me this. You were gonna wait till we were live.
See the show notes beforehand. I don't know what happened. I think it was after the games. Yeah, after the games.
Wow.
And I don't. I mean, there's a lot of speculation, but obviously one of them continued to compete
at this point,
and the other one did not. But I don't know. So I think that it'll be a fight between them regardless.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so at Rogue, which will be cool. So not best friends award.
Wow. Best ex-best friends. Although, is Gabby still dating Laura's brother? Because I got to be honest with you, I thought that was weird from the jump.
I think that's part of the.
I'm not in that world. The relationship, like I have a relationship with a lot of these athletes, but I try to stay out of their
Sure.
Unless they're married, I'm like, oh, you guys are married. That's so cute. Yeah. You know,
I'll be the one that brings the speculation and the tea, and you guys stay safe and just
I just feel I've been in the dark. I'm so disappointed. Well, and as I was saying, it's very hard for 2 women who are competitors to really be in one another's corner all the time. So at least women are consistent, right? We're all the same.
All right,
let's do a 5-person rapid fire right here.
All right, we got Justin Medeiros.
A.
Medeiros is A. We got Roman Krennikov. Yeah, best mullet for sure.
Roman, C.
Whoa.
Yeah.
C.
Coming off an injury.
Oh yeah, the hip surgery, right?
I'm not sure. So I'm putting him at a C. I think he's going to come in and fight a couple events, but I don't think he can podium, and I think it's just a comeback comp for him. Which right. I don't know if he's that type of competitor. Some competitors only go out there if they can win. But I don't know. C.
Cool. Bjorn Carl Gudmundsson.
D.
Yeah, I don't think.
He's just not like, he's obviously a great competitor. He's a Hall of Famer in my book. Like if they did a CrossFit Hall of Fame, he'd be a Hall of Famer. Really amazing athlete, lots of strengths, but he's down on just across the board on everything. And I think he's like, he knows he's just not that athlete anymore. And more people are coming in. He still gives his heart out there, but I don't think he should be, I think he should save the marbles for the games if he's trying to do anything. But it's in his time zone. I mean, I figured, it's fine.
I've awarded BKG best at making fourth place look like a win.
Yeah, there you go. He's been very consistent.
Yeah.
All right. We love her. She's a CBG athlete. Danielle Brandon.
She's going in the S tier for me.
Woo!
So
Danielle, are you being biased? Justin, be honest.
The thing is, right? Like she won Wadapalooza. She got third. She podiumed at Wadapalooza last year, right? Magala was on a leaderboard. Was on the podium as well. There was literally one or two events for Danielle where she just needed to be in the middle of the pack, and she wasn't at the games, but she had all the ability to be in the middle of the pack, and she would have been on the podium this year at the games. Rogue is a strength based competition, but there's still a lot of fitness. She is, when healthy, like one of the strongest athletes out there. Every time she gets real strong, like she has a little tweak, as a lot of athletes do. And I think she's healthy right now. She's still training hard. I still think she's fit as hell. And I think she's going out to Rogue to do well. So I think she can podium. If not, she's going to be right outside of it. So.
All right.
Yeah. I've awarded her most likely to throw a grenade and walk away, as we have already mentioned. And we love that about her, right? That's she's number one in my book.
All right. Jason Hopper.
S.
What?
I agree fully.
Bro, he's just like he's I bought him breakfast at Wadapalooza. I got him fed up. That meal's still keeping him fueled. He talks some shit. He squeaked by James in some random like rule reps ahead thing, but like that was a fitness workout, and James is a fitness guy. And Hopper's strong, man. I think he's just got to quit looking at other competitors, stay in his lane, and he can podium. No question about it. And he made a comeback this year from last year for sure, from his rookie year. So,
all right.
Yeah. I love Hopper. He wants it. He wants it bad. And I think that's a huge component in this. But I will say, as someone, on the outside, right? I've awarded him most likely to slam his finger between two plates on a barbell.
Yeah. Or stub his toe on something.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just
I probably would have gone A for Hopper. But all right. But it's close. All right, we've got Ariel Lowen next.
So Ariel hit some big PRs at Wadapalooza. Amazing. Got to meet her whole family. Also being a mom out there, still crushing it. Awesome. I think
she
with
was
the
8th last year at the Rogue.
Yeah, I think it's similar this year. I'm going to put her in the B category.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like she's going to go out there, compete hard, do well. But I don't think she can podium or get close to eclipsing a spot at Rogue. So,
all right.
This is a tip for my girlies out there. Ariel, most likely to post her event-worn apparel on Poshmark. Do with that information what you will.
Okay.
I have no idea what that means.
Everybody's going to go to Poshmark.
Yeah. I mean, she's on there, and if it is not one of her sponsors, you can buy it for the low price of whatever, which is cool. Good for her, I guess. You got to keep the money coming in where you can.
Got to keep it flowing.
Yeah. All right. Ricky Garrard.
Boy.
Garrard.
How many good freaking dudes are at Rogue? Oh my gosh.
I know.
Yeah. It's loaded.
I'm going to go A.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. I think he's I'm just going to go A. I think Hopper and Adler, can do better than him. But I think it makes sense. Like he's in the A category, like maybe fighting for a podium spot end of the weekend.
He was 5th last year.
Yeah, same. So it makes sense.
I've awarded him most accident prone.
Yeah.
True that. All right, we've got Noah Olson.
Noah, my man.
Great dude.
Yeah, great dude. Love meeting him at Wadapalooza. He's doing like a triathlon or something like that. Like the week before or the week after.
Oh.
I don't know if other people know that. I don't know if I should have said that, but I think
no, that's common knowledge.
Training for it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think whether it's before, whether it's after, whatever, it's first time back at comp. It's strength stuff. He has gotten a lot stronger over the years. I think he's going to do well, but I don't think he's going to be close to any sort of podium spot. I hope he surprises the hell out of me. I mean, honestly, but I'm going to put him in the C category with Roman.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Yeah. I think this is where he's at. But if he wants to come back and compete individually and make it to the games, like he should have podium many years in a row. To me, just things didn't come together as it does for some athletes. But he has all the capabilities to win the games if he wanted. Honestly,
yeah.
Any superlatives for Noah?
No, and I feel like that's kind of indicative of like Noah's great, right? Everybody loves Noah.
Yeah.
He's had an incredible career, but he just nothing about him this season was like giving me any pause.
Yeah. Most likely to miss the podium.
True. That is probably true. He's like right there. Yeah.
Alex Gazan.
I'm going to go in the B category. I had high hopes for her for the games this year. She did pretty well. But I still think she has a couple of holes. She is really strong.
I was going to say she's strong though.
Yeah, I love seeing her compete. She's really strong. But I think that's where she's at. She's in the B category. She's going to be in the top 10, but not quite there. So
all right.
Agreed. I've awarded her most likely to bench heavier than your boyfriend.
For sure.
More than me.
Way more than me. Yeah. Even at my peak, like I think at my the strongest I've ever was like 245, and she was 275 or something. Is that what she put up?
Yeah, something insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. I would have went A. On Gazan, but all right. Dallin Pepper.
S.
All right. I'm gonna have to change the screen. I didn't think you were gonna go that many S's.
Dallin is
let's go this way.
Yeah, I'm putting people that can win or podium.
Okay.
At S.
All right.
So that's kind of why there are more people in S. I'm getting pretty dwindled now. It's not going to be that many more people or anybody really. But yeah, he's he has all the capabilities to win the games. We've seen it this year. Second, could have been anybody's. So that's where I'm at. He's got all the tools. So
yeah. Best bromance with Jason. I think the two of them are great. I love them together. It's again, it's like the opposite of the smack talk, right? They're shit talking one another, but they're great.
Like the fun kind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think they're great.
This is interesting. Jason was 7th last year, and Dallin was 8th last year at Rogue. So a little bit of rivalry there. I like it.
Yeah.
Brooke Wells.
I'm gonna put. Man, she really showed up at the games this year. Where was she at? She crushed semifinals.
At the games?
Yeah, where was she at the game?
She was. Let me switch to the women. Let's see. Where is she at? 11th at the games last year.
Yeah, she can definitely fight for a podium spot if she really wanted to. I don't know how in shape she is. I'm going to put her in the A category.
Okay.
Yeah.
A for Brooke Wells.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most likely to be asleep before 8 p.m.
Sleep queen, right? Isn't that?
Yeah.
No?
God, what I wouldn't give.
I know, right? All right. We've got Jay Crouch from the Aussie, Jay Crouch.
Yeah. I don't know how he did at the games this year, but I think he struggled a bit.
Switch back to the men. Jay Crouch. 12th, actually, at the games.
I'm going to put him in the C category. I don't admittedly know a lot about Jay. So.
And I don't see him getting an event win either.
Yeah, it's just where it is. So C category.
Yeah. All right, guys, hear me out. Okay. Jay Crouch, best Harry Potter lookalike.
Interesting.
Not Daniel Radcliffe. Harry
Right.
Potter.
Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
All right. Amanda Barnhart.
Man, she definitely had some struggles this year. Didn't make the games. Very strong athlete. I hope she has a comeback. I hope she's up there and crushing it, but I'm going to put her in the C category. I think she should be there. She's amongst the greatest, but just not gonna, she'll do something on the strength side with some of the stuff, and I hope to see it, but I don't think she has a chance at podiuming or anything like that quite yet. Hopefully she keeps training hard.
All right. And Ohio girl too. Go
Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's back in Ohio, but she actually trains only about 20 minutes north of me. Or she did originally. CrossFit Centerville was where she was at.
Yeah.
All right. Another CBG athlete, strong CBG athlete, Chandler Smith.
Dude, the thing about Chandler is he stays fit all year. Like, he doesn't actually like peak and valley a lot like some of the other athletes. Like, he actually stays really good all year.
Yeah.
He's had some of his best moments at Rogue. He's a dog. I'm putting him in the S category. I think he can definitely podium.
Okay.
I hope he's in individual shape, but he told me he is. He stays in shape, which is good. So I'm going to put him in the S category. So it's somebody's to lose up there, right? You got Adler, Pepper, Hopper, and Smith. One of them will be off the podium, and I'll leave it to them to decide.
I love that. Yeah. I've awarded Chandler most likely to SpongeBob style rip his pants on a deadlift. And you know what? I hope to see it. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. That's because it's a combination of his shorts are too tight and his rear is too large, right? I mean,
when you're that strong, how do you have enough pairs of pants to keep up, right? You get a little stronger, you need more pants. But let's go. I want to see him do something really impressive, and I also want to hear a nice while it happens.
All right, Emma McQuaid.
She is strong. Especially she's surprisingly strong. It is her time zone, so she belongs there for sure. She's been to the games multiple times. I'm going to put her in the C category. Not much more to really say.
Yeah, I agree. Agree on that one. Brent Fikowski.
I'm going to go B for Brent. I feel like he's still recovering from Wadapalooza. I mean, he was done, man.
He went so hard.
He's got all the capabilities to podium here. He's got all the capabilities to win the games. He's podiumed at the games before. And so, but I just don't think this is his moment.
And he could get the win.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him in a B category.
Yeah. I've awarded him most intellectual.
Yeah, of course. Right?
Sometimes to a detriment, I might add.
Yeah. Overanalyzer.
Yeah.
All right. Emily Rolfe.
Rolfe's gotten stronger. I had the pleasure of meeting her and her husband at Wadapalooza. They're still going for it. She's 35 years old, so technically a master's this year. She's still going to compete individually. Absolute savage.
Yeah.
The Rogue events with the strength stuff. I hope she can pull it together. I'm going to take a chance on Emily, put her in the B category. Maybe she can get close to a top 10 finish. I think she'll probably finish middle of the pack. I kind of wanted to put her in the C with the strength, but she just has such a good recovery aerobic system. I'll go with in the B category for her.
Okay. Yeah, I probably would have went C. C,
it's close, but I'm gonna give it to her. Yeah.
Another CBG athlete, and he's strong too. Sam Quant.
Sam has same abilities as like Pat Vellner, right? Like all the ability to podium, trains alone, just dog, like just a street dog, like trains in his garage, doesn't give a crap about anybody else, just wants to win and goes out there when he competes to win. I'm going to put him in the A category. I think he gets close to a podium spot here. I think it's possible. We'll see what he does, but he's ready. I talked to him. He's ready. He feels good. So
yeah, he's done well at the games before. So I could see it.
He's placed second at the games.
Yeah.
Matt Frazier 2020, Matt Frazier than him, above Jeffrey Adler. And then years after that, just always done well, consistent. So.
All right. Now, you got anything for Quant, Gab?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, just.
Actually, I'll say this: I lovingly refer to him as Squant, and I wonder if anybody else does, because that can't be the only one.
All right. So this next one, I think she's the current sweetheart of CrossFit, the current darling of CrossFit. Now, I don't know if that's like true of her actual personality, because I feel like the way that people probably think of her is on the exact opposite end of what Danielle Brandon is in terms of like attitude and stuff. But I don't know her personally, so I could be completely wrong. But Haley Adams.
Haley is sweet. Strength stuff. I feel like I can't put her in a different category than Rolf because they're similar athletes. Also, Rolf did podium at the games. Adams was right behind her. I don't know how in shape Haley is right now. I know she's getting back to everything. She traveled a lot. I'll put her in the B category. She has one of the biggest hearts out there competing that I've ever seen. Like the stuff that she's been through, like out on the competition floor and just push through is like unbelievable. So I'll put her in the B category. Hopefully she'll break into the top 10 and, keep things going. So
yeah, this feels obvious. I've awarded Haley best comeback.
Yeah.
Best comeback. 100%.
Love to see it. Yep.
Keep it going.
Yona Koski.
I don't know, man. What is he doing these days? Like, did he make the games? Like, what?
Let's see.
I think so.
So he finished. Oh no, he got hurt last year at the Rogue because he only did one event. So
yeah,
he got hurt last year. I think he was at the games.
Yeah,
but I don't think he did anything. Maybe he got hurt again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see him on the list, so I don't think he made the games.
Yeah, I'm going to put him in the D category. The Icelandic brothers they're getting up there. They've been competing a long time. Just where they're at. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Well, that's fitting because I awarded him most likely to be mistaken for BKG.
There you go.
So,
excellent.
It only fits.
Paige Semenza.
Dude, Paige had an amazing year this year.
Yeah.
Like phenomenal year. Like literally, because I'm watching Danielle Brandon every event. Literally like on her tail, all the events, fitness is there, really good athlete. I'm gonna put her in the A category. I think that she could be in the top 10. I think she was top 10 at the games this year, and she could do it again at Rogue. So I'm gonna put her in the A. She'll be on the lower tier A. Like I don't think she has a chance to podium. But when you got your fitness, you got to keep going, and I think she's gonna want to do well here. So
yeah.
All right, Madeline Sturt.
I'm gonna put her in the. I'll put her in the D category. I don't know how strong she is. I don't think she's strong enough. I think she made the games this past year. I don't know how well she did there, but I think it was a comeback year for her as well. I don't think she made the games the year before. So I'm going to put her in the D. Certainly she belongs amongst these types of competitors. I'm just not sure if she's going to do well. Somebody's got to be at the bottom, right? So that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've given her most ambitious. I totally agree with you. I think it was an incredible comeback year. I think she's really putting herself back out there, but I don't know that it's going to amount to, what some other people are going to amount to.
Yeah.
The 2024 fittest man on earth, James Sprague.
This was going to be the surprise for me. I don't think he podiums here. I think he's pretty fit, but he has gone on his honeymoon recently. He has been getting back to training. He loves training. I'm going to put him in the A category because I'm not going to, I'm not going to count him out, but he'll be a top 10 for sure. I just don't know how high he'll get. But he has the capabilities to beat everybody out there, as we've seen. So
yeah, and he'll definitely beat everybody in being the best Nicolas Cage lookalike because, oh my God, they could be brothers.
Which Nicolas Cage though? Like the
young Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
Young. Okay, makes sense.
All
right, 5 rapid fires here.
Well, I was going to say, here's what I was going to say is all of the remaining athletes are ones that got in through the qualifier.
Okay.
So are any of these going to make a splash?
I
Any of them
can't
above
see.
C or
I
D?
can't really see them. So let's
Okay.
maybe just go through each
So
one.
you've got Sam Cornway.
All right, let's put him in the C category.
You've got I don't know how to say his name. Georgios Caravas. Sorry, buddy. If
I don't know much about him, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know much about him
So
either.
by default, I'm just going to put him in the D category, knowing he's from the qualifiers. But that doesn't mean much. I mean, they can go out there and do well. So
I think this is Jorge Fernandez, I believe.
Jorge, yeah, I'll put him in the C category.
Howe is her last name. I can't see her name.
Oh,
either.
Taylor Howe.
Taylor, that's right.
Yeah, Taylor. I don't know. I would probably put her in the C category as well. I think she can do well, but I don't know what she's going to do overall.
Sydney Wells.
C. She's got the capability. She's made the games, but she's got to be healthy. And so I put her in the C. Yeah.
Yeah. Danny Paran.
I've heard of her before. I don't know how strong she is. I'm going to put her in the D category.
Henrik Hapalainen.
Yeah, I've seen him compete. He's good. I'm going to put him in a D category as well. I mean, I feel like we got to balance it out, and I don't know enough about his strength numbers to say anything. So
he's pretty strong, but I was going to maybe go.
Well, what numbers does he put up? Do we know?
No, I don't have the exact numbers, but I feel like it's just gut memory, I guess.
Well, it's hard because we don't know a lot about these athletes, these last ones.
Right.
Admittedly, should have done a bit more research. But yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they're qualifying they're up and coming, right? It's probably some of the first time they've competed with these type of athletes. And so it's more about experience. But, I don't know how far we are off with the categories and stuff. But I think it's probably a C or D for most qualifying people anyway. You know?
Yeah.
Taylor Williamson.
Don't know much about her. Squeaked in on the qualifiers, right?
I think so.
Yeah, we can put her
former Mayhem athlete or Team Mayhem. She competed with Team Mayhem. She's been on a couple of the big teams.
Oh yeah, I know who she is. Sorry, I don't know why I blanked. She is really strong. I remember, and she obviously won the games on a team with Rich. Put her in the B category. I like that for her.
I was thinking too.
Yeah, I mean, she's
legit. An event win, and
yeah,
strong.
Yeah, for sure.
Guy Malheiros.
B.
Yeah,
he's going to take some strength stuff, especially if it's Olympic lifting.
Yes.
And so with that, it always keeps him close to the top. I think he'll go top 10, but we'll see how fit he shows up. So,
all right. Last but not least, or maybe least, Manon Agonese. Apologize.
Yeah, I guess we'll put her in the D. Yeah, I don't know much about her.
Her either.
But this is good. Now that I've heard these athletes' names, I've heard all their names before, but not to the extent to where like, oh, they're going to Rogue, they're competing against the best. This is their opportunity to make a splash competing with some of the best in the world, because this is a games level roster. This is a game. This is the games. Like this is the games. Who's missing? Right? Like some people missing, but who's missing? Right? Like honestly, not many. So pretty sick. Let's get a picture of that. Like you don't have to do it now, but like
I was gonna say, I think I can just hit download over here. And,
yeah, cool.
Yeah, I love it. It's gonna be exciting. Yeah.
It's definitely a good roster. Sorry if you are in the bottom tier, guys, but it's either because I don't know much about you, and fair, you have to prove yourself as an athlete and make something at the high level with those people, and we'll vote you higher. And then the others, like you're just getting up there. You've been competing a long time. You're an absolute veteran and savage, but there's too many people
fun to watch.
Yeah. So
yeah, I can't wait. Cool.
It's gonna be awesome.
This was great.
All right. Well, that wraps us up for today. There you go. There you have it. There's all of our takes on. We went through a lot today. But yeah, so it'll be fun to watch the Rogue athletes, and good luck to all the CBG athletes that'll be there. And we'll look forward to being able to do some review after Rogue. So
Can't wait.
Any housekeeping stuff, Justin, you want to announce? Or
No, I know we announced last week we are bringing another CBG athlete on board.
Yeah, any teasers?
Haven't given me hints, but they are going to be at Rogue.
Oh, so we talked about him and didn't even
We did.
know.
Yes, we did. So go through the board and go from there. Male, female, who knows? And
I like it. That's a good
yeah.
teaser.
Actually, it's a female athlete.
Oh man.
There you go. So it's a female athlete. She's at Rogue. And it'll be announced in the next couple weeks.
Yep, let the speculating begin.
Fun stuff. Clip it. We need to clip that and put it out there. All right, y'all. Well, that's all we got for today for today. But I think we'll be back on Friday. We've got some schedule stuff switching around, so we'll be back this Friday with another fun episode, and we'll see you then. So,
all right,
catch you when we see you next time.
Later.